Hi, my name's Rachel McLeod, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker and emotional wellness coach. And today I am jumping on here to talk about this topic. I'm gonna take my earbuds off because you wouldn't have known, but they were driving me a little nuts. 'Cause, anyway. Um, but I'm going to talk with you today about the 5 reasons that you're stuck and you haven't eliminated um, these symptoms of anxiety, the ones that are keeping you trapped in this problem. And and I want to talk to you about this because this is the theme. Every once in a while, it's kind of interesting. I don't know what this is about, but in my world, I used to do everything from the couch. Now I'm virtual. I do my work online. When I worked in mostly from my couch, I'd have this saying that there was like the theme of the couch. Like every person that would sit on my couch would say the same thing, and that would be the theme for the day. I don't know what that's about. But now that I'm working virtually and online, and meeting with people across the country, it's the same thing sometimes. There's just moments when it all lines up and everyone is talking about the same thing. And what that is right now is that they're stuck. And that's the theme. That's what people are getting on the phone with me. I offer free breakthrough calls for people that are ready to take action and want this out of their life. And I want to see if I can help them. And when they're getting on the call with me right now, it's about being stuck. And you know, it's definitely one of the symptoms of anxiety. I remember when I was at my worst with this, what I felt like is that I was just circle round and round and round my brain, and there was just no way to get out. And like the more I tried to find a way out or get unstuck, I would just fall back in like a sand pit. And that was just so frustrating with me for me. And so when people, my clients or other people talk to me about this, I know what they're talking about. I also know how to get out of that, so that's awesome. But it's really frustrating. So since that's the theme of the couch, the virtual couch, um, I thought that that might be something that you're dealing with as well, and I wanted to connect with you, talk with you about this, and tell you why. Because ultimately it's going to, I want you to get into action about this because you do need to take action. But if you've got that experience of circling round and round, you know that if you don't take the right action, you're not getting out of this, and you just will go round and round and round. Okay. And so if you're with me today and you have questions or comments about what I'm saying, or you like it or you love it, I want you to go ahead and post your comments or hit one of those little emoji things because that lets me know. I'm totally paying attention to that. And let's see. And let's dive in. I've got 5 reasons today. I was just making a list the other day, and 5 of them came up for this. And so I want to talk about, I'm just going to get started and dive in with those. Um, the One of the main reasons why you are stuck is because what you have going on is what we all have going on is we have a comfort zone. And this comfort zone, when you've got anxiety, you stay in your comfort zone and you don't get beat by the anxiety bat that is in your head and that is standing there ready to get you if you don't uh the binging over here. Let me turn that off. If you don't do the right thing. If you stay in your comfort zone, you can be relatively okay, right? But people's comfort zones can really get smaller and smaller and smaller. If you've got anxiety and you've had it for a long enough time, you know that's the case. You know that you used to be able to do all this, and now all of a sudden it's less and it's less and it's less. And you may have watched that pattern for years. I was talking to somebody today. That's really one of the reasons why I can't stand this disorder so much is because it's never satisfied and it keeps taking and taking. And so some people, this woman had said, she really wasn't in too bad of a place. And I'm like, well, good. Let's deal with this now instead of waiting till you crash and hit rock bottom because it's always coming, right? I mean, and that's the thing of anxiety is it's in your brain and it's ready to go. And anyway, it takes all the prisoners. It doesn't, um, it loves the prisoners. And so, but what happens when you try to get out of this? If you don't do the right thing, it'll bring you right back because once you get out of your comfort zone, the alarms in your brain go off. Now, everybody deals with this. Everybody has a comfort zone, and your comfort zone is your subconscious programming, where life. This is where your life is supposed to be. And if you look around your life, this is what your programming looks like. This is what your subconscious programming creates. And so, if you don't like that, then it's time to do some work on your subconscious programming and what your life is supposed to be looking like. But but, if you so everybody has that limit, but if you have an anxiety disorder, if you're dealing with incredible symptoms of anxiety, what's happening is when you get out of that, the intensity of discomfort is so powerful that it forces you back in. Your stomach, you feel like you're going to throw up all the time. Your chest is so tight. Lots of people will feel like they're suffocating. They can't get enough breath. Or that your thoughts keep going round and round, or your brain starts trying to spook you back into the corner, back into the comfort zone. And you're like, I don't like that comfort zone. But what to get out of there, you have to go through such a gauntlet that is so long and is very persistent because your brain thinks it needs to keep you alive in there. So it is very committed to making sure you don't get out of the comfort zone, and it will go do a lot of things to keep you pushing you back. So and that's one of the reasons why you're stuck is because you can't get through, you can't create change, you can't take different steps because you will set off the alarms and you will be punished severely by your survival center that will wash you in all kinds of chemicals of torture and anxiety, or put you to sleep, or make you fight it everybody with everybody, be really irritable, where you can't even stand your own self, and make you feel ashamed because you have no ability to pay attention to your kids who you love, and you're a jerk. Right. And that all because your survival center has got you on pins and needles and is sapping all your energy. And really to get through that level and get unstuck, you need the right tools and strategies. And they are out there. You need to go and get them. You need to stop at nothing to get them because, like I just said, anxiety will take more and more and more until you've destroyed more of your life and you are more debilitated, or you have to work so much harder. And you know what? That's not cool either. I talk to lots of people um, that really they're working harder and they're succeeding in working harder. But if they could get their time and energy back, they'd have so much time. I mean, they're not getting paid by anxiety and depression and traumatic stress. I mean, if they were, it's like they'd have, quite the fat bank account because the amount of hours they're spending in working through and keeping anxiety off their back and keeping ahead of it as if um, is a full-time job. I count up hours with people all the time, and it's a full-time job. So kudos to you if you're one of those people that are working really hard, staying ahead of it, and on the outside you're looking awesome, but on the inside, I know what's going on there. You know what's going on there, and it's painful, and it's a lot of work to keep it together. And so, anyway, you got to get past your comfort zone, and there's lots of strategies for that. And we'll talk about those a little bit later. Another thing that has you stuck is that you don't have enough support. This is when you're going into your inner world. One of the reasons why we don't change is because this is our brain. This is what we've grown up with. This is what is normal to us. We just don't see where the problems are. We don't see where we're getting caught. We don't see where our brain is tricking us, and therefore we cannot find our way out. And I have an itchy itch. Sorry, um, tickles in my nose. Sorry. You didn't need to see that. You didn't sign up for that. Um, I tried. Uh, but um, but when you're doing this kind of work, it can really feel like you can get pulled into the abyss and never come out. Many people have anxiety because of deep trauma, because of all sorts of things. And it can really feel like if you go into this to do the work, you're never coming back out. And really, that's really where we need the support. We need to have somebody help us hold it down so that we can reach in there and not get sucked in and not lose our balance and be able to come back and function, right? Some of us are terrified because we've watched parents suffer with mental illness and lose control, commit suicide, fall into the pit of depression. And so we've learned and we're afraid that if we do it, we're not going to make it. And that's a sign you need more support. For those of us who are the ones in the family that are the strongest and the one everyone goes to, you don't even know you need support because it's never been part of your world. You're just the support of everyone else, but you've never stopped to think, well, I might need some support. I mean, maybe you don't even know how to do that, or but it's like that's one of the reasons why you're stuck And that's an easy one to fix. It's much easier than number one, where you're moving through your comfort zone and you're getting beat up by your own brain and your own body. It's so easy to get the support that you need. And it's one of the fastest ways to create deep transformation is to get along someone beside somebody who can help you. And I will tell you, get as close to that person you feel drawn to that can help you eliminate these symptoms from your life as soon as possible, because not having enough support and not having an expert on your side is one of the reasons why you're stuck. Solve that problem. Get into action and solve that problem. Um, the another one of the reasons why you're stuck is that you can't trudge through all this mess with your current skill set. And that seems obvious and all that, but really, where did you know did you have you ever learned the skill set to eliminate symptoms? I know that they're not teaching that in school. I know that most therapists aren't teaching that. Have Do you have a skill set that eliminates symptoms? And most of the time, the people that I talk to, no, they don't. Fix that. Just fix that problem. Get the tools you need to fix it. And if you don't want the tools because you're like, hey, I just want this problem fixed and I don't want the tools, um, Emily says that's a pretty shirt. Thank you, Emily. That's a pretty top. Um, but if somebody, yeah, I don't recommend you not having these tools. And that's a lot of my beef with the therapeutic field right now, is that a lot of times we keep the tools to ourselves. You need these tools, and you can have these tools. You can learn these tools, but you're going to need to invest your time, energy, and money. Because let me tell you, some of these are expensive, are incredibly expensive. Um, and that's fine. Go do that if that's what you need, or hire someone like me that will teach it to you at a fraction of the time and money and all that stuff. But you need to have this. You need to be empowered with this. Not only do you need this, but you need this for your kiddos. You need this for your family members. Healed people heal people. And if the thing that's blocking you are the tools and the strategy, solve it. The quicker you get from here to solve this problem, the more time, energy, money, chemicals, vitamins, minerals you'll save yourself from having to throw into the pit of anxiety, and it doesn't give those things back. You got to go take that. But your skill set may be what's keeping you stuck. Let me tell you what, most interventions are geared, and most therapy is geared toward the thinking center in your brain. And that means that it's you're thinking about things and you're learning about why you do things, and you're bringing these problems into awareness. Guess what? That's wonderful, but it's only half of the healing process. It's only half. And like they say, knowing is half the battle. That's actually how it works. The brain is set up like that. Knowing is only half the battle. You need to help the survival center get that stuff through. The survival center is what blocks all the healing from happening. And that's when you understand. You go through all this therapy and you understand what the problem is. You watch yourself do the thing, but you can't do anything to stop it. You can't do anything to intervene, to heal it, make it go away, and eliminate it at the root. And that's a frustrating place to be. And let me tell you what, if you've invested so many years in therapy and that's the result that you're at, okay, if it was going to work already, it would have worked. It doesn't take that long to move an anxiety disorder into remission. I remember taking on one of my clients earlier on, and she was having like 5 or 6 panic attacks a day, just slammed. She had been with a therapist for 2 years before finding me, and um, and very quickly, we were able to move through that. A year later, wasn't having those panic attacks. All the big panic attacks were gone, and she was just growing and thriving. And that's a tough one. When you're being hammered by lots of symptoms like panic attacks, that's tough. And we were able to move through that just a fraction of the time that she was with her other therapist, and she wasn't eliminating symptoms there. She was just learning about them, and she was learning to cope, and was on an incredible medication list. So, let's see. So, okay. Melita, Miletta. There we go. Miletta Sanders. This is a good topic. This is my mindset. Um, this is what I want to learn and help others heal authentically. Yes. When you get the right skill set, you are become a light of healing in your life, and the people around you benefit, not only just because you know how to pass off the skills, but because healed people heal people. And so it's very, very powerful. And I love that. Emily says, yes, so work with Rachel. Oh, she's been very helpful. Awesome. I love Emily. She's phenomenal. I'm going to have to brag on her if you don't mind. Emily, I want to brag on you. So you just let me know if I can. And if I have permission, I will. So I'll wait. But I don't want to. Okay. Um, Miletta says this, it's the anxiety that gets in the way of us living a fruitful life. Yes, that's it. It's very simple. And really, what happens is that um, anxiety is a product of your brain trying to heal itself. Anxiety is not there because something's wrong with you. There has been something wrong in how things were processed. If we're, I'm just going to break this down to cooking, right? It's not that, if you're, no, I'm not going to break it down to cooking. Let me try that again. I'm going to break that down to the simplest possible way that I can. I got no metaphor. But, um, but you anxiety comes because there were some things that happened, some fears that you were exposed to, some emotions that you experienced that did not make their way through the healing pathways. That's it. Simple. That's what an anxiety, depression, or trauma disorder is about. Um, if you've had this at a young time or you had a lot of them, there's more in there, right? But once it kind of breaks down, it just creates dysfunction. It can really start growing because it's, if you think about this stuff's supposed to be moving through this pipeline, and now you got something stuck, and now some things can get around it and get through, but there's other things that can't, and it just backs up, backs up, backs up, backs up, and pretty soon nothing can get through, and you get broken down with the anxiety, depression, and other problems like that, and you start to create problems in your outer world because you need that pipeline open. And so that's really really very, very important. um, Emily gave me permission. Emily is one of my clients, and she's in week 4 of my program right now. And she's been rocking. She is like, her brain just moves. It's really fun to watch her brain. And I have to say, sometimes I'm a little. She's very independent. She does her own work, and sometimes I want to get in there and like, I want to do the work too. I want to watch. But and I want to be part of it, but she goes and she does her own work, and she pops back in when she pops back in. And but she was really working through something, and I asked her about how it was, and she's like, it's still caught up. And I was teaching her a new strategy, how to access the origin of a problem. And but she said she still felt the tightness in her chest. And so we worked with that, and then we identified the origin of the problem. And so she was like, okay, I'll go work on that now, because she had that clarity. She went off to work on that. I have them. I don't have them, but if they want privacy and to do their work independently, they mute their mic and their video, and they're off, right? And so she was just feeling tightness. She gets back on, and she's got this huge smile on her face, and it's just, she's glowing, and she's reached this. She resolved the issue at that root, and just was joy, and just overjoyed. And it was like, yes. And it was like the first time we've seen her like make such a big breakthrough, because we work, 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 and then that really becomes the new state that we're really wiring in deeply. And so we got a peek of that, and it was beautiful. Anyway, but that was stuck. She was that the origin of that event was stuck back there, and we made it through. We got it through the healing pathways, and her brain was like, and then just, I'm even getting goosebumps now. Anyway, I love it. Let's see. So, but that's a great example of getting unstuck, and she had her own skill set. She did it herself. And I tell you, I'm not always like that, but she is just so awesome. Anyway. Yeah. Sometimes there's just too many hands in the kitchen, right? And but at least I get to watch from outside the kitchen. It's great. Um, so good job, Emily. Keep it up. Keep it up. So let's see. Let's talk about the next one. Um, one of the things that are keeping you stuck, and I'll get back and we'll answer those. But I want to one of the things that's keeping you stuck, number 4, is you keep running into people who can't help you, and you don't know that they can't help you. And I have a video. I want you to go find this when you're done here. If this is your situation, and it's titled. There's some, I don't know, three ways to know your therapist will never help you eliminate anxiety, depression, anxiety symptoms, or something like that. But that they can't help you. And that's a really great one to look at. And I show you why and how to identify them. You've got to know these things. It's like going to a mechanic, right? I don't know anything about cars. I don't know if I've got a good mechanic or a bad mechanic. I sit there, I ask my friends, take me somewhere, take me to your leader, and I go there and I hope that I find them and that they will solve this problem and not rip me off and you know and in the mental health world, people aren't always talking about their therapist. We There's lots of old ideas in here that just don't get good results, and so it's just really important that you understand that some of what's keeping you stuck is that you are working with people who cannot help you with this. And what I share in that video is that there are talented therapists and that are generalizing, and really they should be specializing in something that is not anxiety, depression, or traumatic stress. They don't have the skill set for it, and they don't have the skill set for eliminating that. And I have some really wonderful therapists in my community who are wonderful at supporting people, and they will send people to me for this. They're specifically sending them to me to eliminate their symptoms of anxiety, depression, and traumatic stress. Those clients go right back to them because those therapists are great at supporting people. And what's wonderful about those therapists, they know where their skill set lies. They know where the end of it is, and we all have to know that. Otherwise, we'll keep people around us too long when they should be moving on, right? And if you're doing this right, you should be outgrowing the skill set of your therapist, right? Um, and I take that challenge very personally. So I continue, like, I know that I'm only gonna be able to take my clients as far as I've gone, and that's why I personally invest, and I want you to know this so that you can go and look for this as well, out there, because I think this is important. But I invest a lot of my of money annually to be emotionally well and to grow in my emotional wellness and to just in trainings, to keep up. If there's something better, faster, I wanna know about it, and I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is and do that. So, and those are just a couple of hints about that. But I would do a whole video on that. But you got to get unstuck. You have to find somebody who can actually help you. Um, and the fifth reasons why you're stuck is because you run away from the people who actually can help you. I'm gonna just tell you right now that, this was my problem. So I'm not throwing any stones at you. I just wanna call it out so you can see it. This is if my family has a problem. I'm not gonna call my family out, okay? Okay, okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna say that I was not trying to, have anybody help me. Um, I'm seeing them all here participating with me in this joke, and they're all laughing with me, but and they're all like, "Mm-hmm." Anyway, so I come by this naturally. This is how my people are. We want to do it ourselves, and we don't want anybody in our business because we're there. I personally have found that I just felt really fragile. I didn't want people in my inner world touching my stuff, and so I may have come across people who really could help me. I don't know because I wasn't open to seeing any of them. And it took me a really long time. I mean, I worked really hard at this, and I had, babies after babies. When I was moving through my anxiety disorder, I'd had 3 children in under 3 years. And I had another one after that, 3 years later. And so it took me 7 years to really move my anxiety disorder into remission to a place where I was functioning well with my emotions and not being blocked and not being pushed out of my life. And it didn't need to take that long. And once I started working with people and experimenting, because that's what I thought I was experimenting. Then I realized, oh my gosh, I can help other people. I went and started doing it professionally, and sure enough, I can. And then I would think, I bet we could do this faster and deeper. And so I would figure that out. And then next thing I know is, I bet we could do this faster and deeper. But guess what? The trait that every single one of those clients who I helped eliminate their symptom and move on with their life, their symptoms and move on with their life, they let me help them. And so we were able to do it quickly and well. And, had if somebody maybe had come along beside me and said, "Hey, let me just show you a couple tricks," and not just like I didn't want anyone to be in the driver's seat, and I didn't want anyone in the car really. Um, we're honest, um, but um, but that was really important to me. But if I had just even just a little bit, but anyway, we can't go back in time, and I have learned my lesson. I have, like, all kinds of coaches now, and I'm looking for more because there's some fun things I wanna do, and I like peeking into other people's inner worlds, if we'll just be honest. But it's just but one the last thing that's keeping you stuck is that, you just keep running away from the people who can help you. And so I want to ask you right now to stop that. Stop it. That doesn't mean you have to let everybody in. But if you can just let one person in who can help you eliminate this system, systematically eliminate your symptoms, if that word wants to come in here, um, it will create so much healing for you so quickly. It is one of the fastest ways to get out of this problem is to get the support you need and stop running away from the people that can actually help you. And you know what? Do what it takes to get with them. It doesn't this is one of the biggest investments that you will the most important investments you will ever make in your life is the time that you spend solving this problem at the root and truly eliminating these symptoms. So, those are the 5 reasons that you're stuck. I hope that helped you. I hope that you can see that really gives you some food for thought and some direction as you go ahead and eliminate this and work through this. So important. Um, and if this is something that I'm going to read this, but I want you to know if this is something that you want to talk with me about, and you're somebody, I want to tell you, I am getting pickier and pickier about who I talk with about this. And so I want to let you know up front, this is a complimentary service I offer. I am happy to help you get moving and find your healing and your healing path. And so, if you're somebody who is an action taker and who is ready to rock, go ahead and grab a spot on my calendar. That's all you need to do is be someone who's coachable and an action taker. I can help you if you can do that. I can help you create a plan that's going to work best for you, and we can see what will work best for you and get you moving. And so, if that's something that you want to take advantage of, I offer a free call where I will take a look with you at what's not working, what's got you stuck, where you want to go, and how to get you there. So you can grab a spot on my calendar by going to rachelmcleod.com/call, and let's do that. So I invite you to that. Let me go back onto the scene right there. If you have any questions about that, I'm happy to answer that as well. Um, but really, let's talk about getting you unstuck because that's what this is all about. And you'll find your path. And you got to find your path. And when you find your path, walk it. And if you can't walk it by yourself, find somebody to walk it with you. And ultimately, you're going to need someone to walk it with you, just for a little while. And then you can take it off. You can run with it. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Melita is the Melita. Okay. Good pronunciation. Okay. I thank you so much, Melita. Um, Yay. Well, yes. Okay, she says, "I think we would work together well. I would allow you to take the lead." And I love that. And really when I work with people, I like I can see how the pathway forward, but really we have to keep pace with you. And I really I'm listening to your brain to help you figure out how to work with your brain in the way that works best for you. Um, and so, where I think what you're saying is that you would be coachable and you would do the work that I outlined for you. And I love that. I love that. And so, and that's really, that's it. because this is work you can absolutely do. And there's nothing. If you're coachable and you're committed and you're resourceful, there's nothing that you can't create. There is no transformation you can't make in your inner world. If you can think of it and you can see it, you can. Don't make me sing the song, but you can achieve it. You know, um, I'm not going to sing the song, even if you made me sing the song. We all don't need that in our world. But really, honestly, when you're in your quiet moments and you think, "Gosh, I just really wish I could connect better with people," you can build that. You can build your ability to connect with people. Your inner world is telling you, my ability to connect and receive really authentic love and joy and connection from other people is blocked. Build that. If you, gosh, I really wish I could really just become that photographer I want to become. You know, you can build that. There's lots of reasons, right? Perfectionism can really block us from that. Anxiety, depression, trauma can keep us from everything and anything. So, and we can absolutely eliminate that. Melita says, I've run into a lot of people who can't help me, but I want to overcome the hurdles. I have the desire and I'm very open-minded. Absolutely. And that's what it takes. Absolutely. And she says she wants something not so clinical. That's it, because it's not time for clinical. Clinical is not for you, unless you want to get a master's or a doctorate in this stuff and you want to think about this stuff all day long, great. But if you want to get to work and get busy, it's not about clinical anything. It's about doing the work. You must do the work to help your brain heal. And at some point, I'm loving that you guys are talking with me, because a lot of you are getting ready and you're hearing things. And let me tell you, you can search and you can listen and you can understand, but it's not going to matter until you get the work done. You got to move all that emotion into the right part of the brain. Okay. And that's going to take some work and some persistence. Angelica says, yes, I don't want anyone in my car either. It's scary sometimes. Yes. And that's okay. You can still heal. I know somebody right now who I'm getting to watch it from a distance. They're doing their own work, and I, they're somebody that I am closer to, and so I can't coach them. And but I'm watching, and other people that I know have been worried, and they're like, "Are they going to make it? Are they going to be okay?" And I'm like, "They're getting the best work ever done." And sure enough, we that person that was really worried, we just high fived about it. We were like, "Yeah!" So, major transformation. We don't have to have somebody in the car taking over the wheel for us. Many of us will never go to a therapist. Many of us will never want to talk about the things that have happened to us with anybody else. And that's okay. You can still heal. You don't have to unpack all this stuff in front of everybody else. Your most private, dark, shameful moments, you don't need that. You need your brain to do the work, to be able to do the work. And that's not from talking. Now, if you need to talk or you want to talk, there's something about that. But if I had to choose between your brain, which is so incredibly powerful, and my words to talk to you and your brain, or your words talking to you, I'm going to go with your brain every time. If I have to choose between who's going to do the work right now and who's going to do the magic, my words or your brain, I'm going with your brain. Your brain can do all of these things and more. I could go on and on like that. Um, let's see. Um, Emily says, "I'm pretty independent, but I do like getting help from Rachel." Yes, that's what I was doing, was running away from the people that were trying to help me. Oh, thank you for sharing that, Emily. That's really vulnerable. I appreciate that. Um, and I'm curious, what made you stop running while we're there? Why did you stop running away from the people that were trying to help you? Why not? Pick her brain a little bit. Um, um, anyway, this me in the final in those little Rolodexes, where you used to keep all your contacts before. I like those things. I never even used one. I wanted to use one, I think, but I never did get to. They were out, before cell phones came in, and I missed the window. So, but I love them. They just looked like you could just. Anyway, so I think about that when picking through people's brains. Anyway, sorting through thoughts and ideas. Um, yes, I'm very coachable. Yes, I just need some assistance. Absolutely. Get it. Get it, Melita. I'm gonna look out for you on my calls, on my calendar. I hope to see a call from you soon. A call booked, a booking. There we go. And then Colas has cracked me up. I earned my Rachel McLeod top fan badge. Awesome! Congratulations. So I think I wonder. I've been in groups and those badges are surprisingly motivating. Um, anyway, so congratulations, Colas. And I think you probably earned a top fan badge because you comment, and you also share my posts. So if anybody else wants their top fan badge, go ahead and share some of my videos and comment like you are, and let's get those badges rolling. Um, I'm gonna tell you a story, just because I'm here. If anybody has any questions, you can do that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna entertain all of us with my silly inner world stuff. But I was in this coaching group. I'm very competitive. I was a Division 1 athlete. And there is a competitor in there, and the people I went through this coaching program with, it's an amazing coaching program, for coaches, um and it's just I love this program. Anyway, if you're a coach and you want to know about this program, you let me know. I will hook you up. But in there had all these people that were achieving my goals, and they would get this badge, this rising star badge. And it was just like, and I'd see that badge and I'd be so jealous. And I'd be like, chill, Rachel. And I'm just, no, I want that badge. And I couldn't get the badge. I didn't know what it took to get the badge. And here I am. I'm supposed to be paying attention to what they're coaching us to be doing. I'm thinking about the badge. And so, anyway, a month goes by, 2 months goes by. I finally get a badge that's like a conversation starter badge. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. And I finally go live in the group, and I share something, and I get a new badge, and it's a video storyteller badge. And I was like, okay, not the one I wanted, but whatever. I join a different one of their programs. I'm in this one, and then I get kicked out for some reason. I come back and I share something, and I had just come through. I had just made all these breakthroughs, and here I am. And the next thing I know, and I'm in here, and I'm intentionally creating my reality internally from my inner world, because I believe that we create from within before. And so, and I'm in this thing. I've seen some really big divine interventions happen, and all of a sudden I'm back in the group. I was out for a day, and I do something in there, and the next thing I know, I have the rising star badge, like a year and a half later, and I'm like, yes, manifesting queen over here. Anyway, so those badges are really fun. So anyway, okay, yes, okay, Melita. So I will see you. I will talk soon, myself or someone from my team. I have a team now. So, but and I have trained them. So I am blown away by the love and care they show every one of the callers, and so I've just been so impressed, and I like just heartwarmed, because I want you all treated well. I don't play that. We've all been through too much, and we deserve it. We deserve compassion and caring and curiosity, right? Curiosity is something that some of us just really don't get a lot of, and we're supporting everybody else. But to have a moment where somebody's curious about you and really wants to hear about what's going on is really, really important to me. That you guys get when you make calls with me, and so anyway. Um, so you might speak with, depending on what time you get, you might speak with me or someone from my team. So okay, so oh, thank you, Carisha. She says, you're so amazing. I'm so glad I found you. A friend shared your video and it was so good. So then I binge watched a few others. Yay! So good, Carisha. Welcome. And soon this week, I'm trying to get scheduled a question and answer. My schedule is changing a lot right now, but it's clearing out so that I will have times when everything is really organized. I'm so excited about that, and you get more than 20 minutes notice that I'm going live. So, anyway, good times. Emily says, "You're quite convincing, plus the part you had said about if I wanted to be free and have joy, not just some of the time, but all the time, where you work on stuff that happens at the moment. I didn't wanna walk out in fear." Rachel has some other tips that have been very helpful. Absolutely. Wonderful. I asked Emily, I'm just reading that, I asked her what made her stop running from people who can help her, and she was just saying that, um, with me, she felt that that what I was offering her was really what she wanted, and that she didn't want to walk out on this opportunity to heal um, in fear. Because right, that's we do that all the time, and so it's like, but if we're going to overcome that, we gotta do the work, and sometimes we got to take that leap of faith and grab onto somebody else's hands. Um, so that's awesome. Um, yes, awesome, Melita. Good. All right, I'm loving that. All right. Yeah, so I'm not seeing any other comments at this time. So I think I will go ahead and jump off. So that's it. So examine yourself, see which obstacles are in your way, overcome them. You know, be an overcomer. And you know, these front things, if you hide in your home and you hide out, we can't help you. And but if you stick your arm out for help, it's gonna get grabbed, and hopefully by the right person. You don't like them, shake them off and try again, right? But the more you know, the more that you can make that happen, right? And be that manifesting queen in your life. So, but yes, grab what you need. Make this problem stop. It's available. It's happening. People are getting these results. People are healing. They are getting unstuck and able to rise into their place in life, being their authentic self, uncover more joy, uncover more clarity, more confidence, and just back into their lives. So do that. Don't let those 5 things keep you stuck. Okay? Take care. Hi, Aunt Sandy. Oh, awesome. You're welcome. I think Aunt Sandy also has a nice badge, a top fan badge. I didn't know those were patches. Anyway, that has cracked me up and made my night. Thank you, Colas. And to everyone else, thanks for coming along on this journey. And I will see you at another time. Take care. Bye. Okay, hold up. And I want to say you're welcome, Aunt Sandy. I don't know if I did that or not. I'm trying to use my manners. Okay, and now I'm going to go. Bye.